has shown the growing interest in Takaful business in the country. You would be amazed to note that 2 family Takaful companies have achieved a tremendous growth rate in 2011. Parvez Saab is here, and can I share with the audience your growth rate? They have achieved 94% growth rate in 2011. Another Takaful company has achieved 64% growth rate. That speaks for itself. And with the result that we have been approached by a number of Takaful companies from around the world to come to Pakistan. And I compliment the present Takaful operators that they have proved that it's a viable market. Thank you. Spread of Takaful business and estimated future potentials together with the increasing trend of insurance business indicates the potential of Takaful business in the country. The conventional insurers, seeing the tremendous growth potential of Takaful business, have been approaching SECP to allow them Sharia compliant Takaful window operations. SECP is in the final stages of issuance of new Takaful rule, which will allow the conventional insurance companies to have fully Sharia compliant window Takaful operations. We feel that it will help the growth of Takaful at rapid pace. The concept of central Sharia boards is also being introduced to provide a platform for resolving the Sharia compliance issues. We are also in the process of issuance of the standardized accounting regulation for general and family Takaful in consultation with Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan based on principles of Islamic standards of accounting and reporting issued by Accounting and Auditing Organization of Islamic Finance Institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic finance industry in Pakistan can enhance its reach, penetration in the market by leveraging state-of-the-art technology and accessing multiple channels of distribution. Now is the time that companies should become more customer responsive, and they should also adopt corporate social responsibility as a conscious approach to integrate with the social, ethical and environmental demand of the society, which is also a prerequisite for Islamic financial systems. This will certainly add economic value to their business as well. In conclusion, I would say that Islamic financial industry has shown its importance to the global players in the world. In the space of 4 decades, it has transformed from a peripheral activity to a sizable alternate financial system. Compared to the conventional financial systems, the Islamic financial system is relatively young. However, with the passage of time, with dedicated and skilled human resource, the Islamic finance industry is time to succeed. Despite the challenges and issues, I am optimistic about the future of Islamic financial industry, both globally and in Pakistan, as it is a riba-free system based on its ethics, and most of all, it has the blessings of Allah. Let us join hands and commit ourselves to show the world that Islam is not just a religion, but it's a complete way of life, and it has the right solution for the modern day financial system challenges. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to invite the CEO of Mizan Bank, Irfan Siddiqui Saab, who's also the session chairman, to give the concluding remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. My dear friends and fellow panelists, Salimullah Saab, Asif Saab, Ahmad Saab, Nabi Saab and Abbas Saab. It was interesting to hear the comments of the regulators and the people from the industry as well. or one thing which I really admired in Asif Saab's thing was he mentioned about the Constitution of Pakistan. कि उसमें, there's reference to pursue Islamic way of financing as well. I think Islamic finance was not really prevalent, but at least there was a highlight of Islamic finance. It's good to hear this from the regulators because once the commitment is there, obviously more would come out of them because the main problem in any country, in any industry is that when you go to the regulators, you sometimes feel that there's a wall which you cannot penetrate. उसी सिलसिले में I would really like to thank Salimullah Saab as our key regulator for the Islamic banking industry. We've seen ups and downs with the State Bank of Pakistan in getting products and whatever. But mashallah, on a holistic basis, the level of support which the State Bank of Pakistan has demonstrated over a period of time, I would say was enormous and beyond any level of expectation which I ever had. The main problems which we had initially was lack of liquidity instruments like the sukuks. I think Salimullah Saab ke zamane mein hi uske wo flotation par aaye. And then the Islamic Export Refinance Scheme, which initially was thought to be a non-starter for Islamic banks because it required a different mindset at the regulator of doing a musharaka with financial institution. So mashallah, wo sab cheezein jab hui hain, so on the whole, I feel that both the regulators, the SCCP and the State Bank are very forthcoming in promoting the cause of Islamic finance, which includes the madaribas, the asset management companies, mutual funds, and the banking sector as well. So my really thanks and jazakallah to both the regulators. And thank you for AlHuda for really creating this platform to get the awareness. I feel कि इस तरह के events ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. My only observation or comment would be that we should try to do these things in a more down-to-earth manner. वो होता है ना जब हम बहुत fancy seminars करना चाहते हैं तो वो उसके resources नहीं हो पाते, resources नहीं होते तो हम यहाँ इकट्ठे नहीं हो पाते हैं. So maybe we should do more simple things but more frequent so that more people can take benefit of this thing as well without really spending a lot of resources and energies on that. तो उसमें आपका ज़्यादा multiplier effect होगा उसका. Like Azim said that I need to do a little bit of wrap up over the speakers mentioned. कुछ growth rates जो सलीमुल्लाह साहब ने बताया industry के, the Islamic banking industry right now is 8.5% of the total conventional market. According to him, year-end numbers are expected at 10%, and inshallah 5 years time he said it will be 15%. So we're really excited to see these growth rates, and obviously there's a lot of potential for everybody to come in and take a good size of the business and still grow. Usme I would really like to give you a little background of how we came into existence in Mizan Bank. We started our operation as an Islamic investment bank in 1997. Zaidon Sahab, हमारे colleague बैठे हैं जो हमारे Saudi Park में थे, he was our core shareholder as well and a strong supporter throughout our tenure of Mizan Bank. And then after the first 4 years of operation of an investment bank, we had a God-gifted opportunity of acquiring Society General's 4 branches in Pakistan and converting into Islamic Commercial Bank. उस वक्त हमें बिल्कुल unachievable लग रहा था, लेकिन alhamdulillah, again, thanks to first to Allah Ta'ala and then really to State Bank of Pakistan, कि जहाँ पर from the first day of this thought process to the implementation and converting Society General into Mizan Bank, it took 90 days. So 90 दिन में हमारा due diligence process, licensing, and what Asif Saab was describing about the 3 methods of how Islamic banks can operate, all those infrastructure was done in 90 days. When we actually found the deal, and State Bank, mashallah, reciprocated in creating the enabling environment. So that is again, very unusual. I would not give too much credit to State Bank for that, but I would give credit to Allah Ta'ala that he had to make it happen, and State Bank reacted to that. So अगर मैं आप लोग भी शामिल होंगे, inshallah things would get better. Islamic banking में चूँकि mutual fund industry का ज़्यादा है, it's more related more than banking to the mutual funds. The KMI's index in 2011 went up by 28%, and the Karachi Stock Exchange Index, and the Karachi KMI, which is the Karachi Stock Exchange Mizan Index, that went up by 44%. So there was like a little under doubling of the return, if you invested in the Sharia-based stock because banking sector probably went down and other sectors went up. In the first 9 months of 2012, again, there's a difference, but not as large. The KMI index went up by almost 13%, and the Karachi Stock Exchange index went up by 10%. So 25% का वहाँ पर भी gap आ जाता है. And one other thing which we've seen in Mizan Bank is that Mizan, by the way, is the fastest growing banking sector in Pakistan. I mean, no other bank has grown that fast. Not because we were very smart or hardworking. I think it's because the market was there, the need was there, the demand was there from the market. So शुरू में तो हमें बड़ा problem होता था where people used to ask a lot of questions that, how is it compliant, how is it not compliant. Zakram Sahib used to always relate a story that a typical family who used to visit our initial first year of our operation, they would come with their miyan biwi bache saath sab milke aate the, and they would really want to know कि भाई ये banking Islamic हो कैसे सकती है. तो आपका time effort उसमें बहुत लगता था in telling them how it is Islamic. Our call center, average time of our call center was much higher than a conventional call center because people would not want to ask just a rate, but they want to understand how is it Islamic. Not that asking कि Islamic है कि नहीं है, but how is it Islamic. So obviously that initial pain is over now. Now people accept it more openly, and I really feel that people who are sitting either as Madarba or the asset management or whatever, that your ability and the potential of growth has to be higher than the conventional banking. Why? Because there are about maybe 10-15% of our population which would be 100% desirous of Sharia-based banking or Madarba or investment, whatever. 10-15% होंगे जो कहेंगे यार आप कुछ भी कर लें, सर्विस दें ना दें, हमें शरिया कंप्लाइंट में आना है, तो वो तो आपको कैप्टिव कस्टमर मिल जाएगा. बट वो 10-15% से आपका बैंक नहीं चल सकता, ना इधर म्यूचुअल फंड चल सकता है. And there will be 10%, 15% of the people who would say we do not want to do Islamic banking. Why? Because उसमें इस्लाम का नाम आ रहा है ऐसे खपती लोग हैं दुनिया में जो कहते हैं कि बिकॉज इस्लाम का नाम आ गया तो हमें तो करना ही नहीं है, तो उनको छोड़ दें. अल्लाह ताला उनको हिदायत दें, हमें उनसे सरोकार नहीं रखना चाहिए. बट ये जो बीच में 60-65% लोग जो बाकी रह जाते हैं, that is the vast majority of people who would come to you if you provide them the right service, right pricing as well. If you say अल्लाह के नाम पे आ जाओ, वो नहीं आने के. But if you give them the right pricing and there is a Sharia compliant element in it, there is a question of why not, कि क्यों ना आए. अगर आप एक प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं जो शरिया कंप्लाइंट है, whether in banking or leasing or mudarba or insurance, then they have to come to you. I mean, they'll be quite frankly stupid not to come to you. So you have to capitalize on that very large segment of 60-70% and make sure that your service levels are up there for them to come to you. Service levels आपके नहीं होंगे तो लोग नहीं आएंगे. मिजान में हमेशा हमने शुरू से ये किया कि the quality of service has to be the best in the sector. तो आपको compete करना है जो top banks हैं. आपको compete ये नहीं करना है कि कोई nationalized banks है वो कैसा करते हैं, वो भी इतने बड़े हैं. हमें unless we are best, we cannot survive as a new entity. And mashallah, as a result, I mean, we've seen our growth rate for the last many years has been probably top of the industry numbers. This year, December 2011, our deposit growth was I think 30%. Industry was less than half of that, and it was the single largest bank from a growth perspective in our peer group. Our return on equity, because we are growing, is again very high. I think after Allied Bank, this was the second highest return on equity achieved by Mizan Bank at about 28%. Allied Bank was 29%. So just 1% short of the best return on equity bank. In terms of एक चीज और मैं जो पॉइंट्स बना के रखा था, आसिफ साहब ने जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान की बात किए थे, तो उससे आपको एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये मिलेगी कि कायद-ए-आज़म इन हिज इनॉग्यूरल एड्रेस of the State Bank of Pakistan in 1948 had a whole paragraph on Islamic finance कि भाई Islamic banking हमारा खुद का जो मजहब जिस तरह से कहता है हम उस तरह करें. In fact, our annual report for the last 5 or 6 years, ever since we discovered this document, always carried 2 pages of this statement in our every single annual report. So we feel that it doesn't get outdated because this was the root of the basis on which Pakistan Central Bank was formed as well. तो अगर आप कभी हमारी एनुअल रिपोर्ट यहाँ भी मिलेगी आपको, देखें तो उसमें कायद-ए-आज़म का विजन जो था उस वक्त वो कितना स्ट्रॉन्ग था फॉर इस्लामिक बैंकिंग, एंड आई एम ग्लैड दैट स्टेट बैंक इज नाउ टेकिंग इट टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. एक और चीज आई वुड like to mention is that Salim Saab is now working on white label advertisements for Islamic finance. Obviously, being regulated for only Islamic banking, they can only do that for the Islamic banks. But I would suggest कि ऐसे CIBE mutual funds के लिए और takaful companies के लिए इसको ज़रूर सोचें. Because we have to really push the industry, and mashallah, I think you said you got the approval at the right level in State Bank of Pakistan as well. So as Mizan, we would really support that initiative of State Bank of Pakistan. I've spoken to some of other colleagues from other Islamic banks as well, and they are also very excited about it. तो जिस तरह टेट्रा पैक का ऐड आता है कि जी आप डब्बे में बंद दूध जो है वो बेहतर है खुले दूध से, तो उस तरह I think inshallah if we can see this from State Bank of Pakistan making a statement that Islamic finance is inshallah has to be better than conventional finance, I'm sure it will make a big difference to the growth in the industry. So I think with that, I'd like to really thank AlHuda and all the participants, and I hope you have a successful deliberation over the next remaining day. Thank you so much, Jazakallah.
Now we'd like to conclude this inaugural session by handing out the mementos to the people who participated in it. I'd like to request Asif Sahab if he could step down in front of the stage, and if Salimullah Sahab could go and collect his memento from him. Salimullah.
इनको ज़ूम कर
Abbas, Mr. Sir, go next. Shamshad Sahab. Irfan Sahab, if you could come and give it to Asif Sahab. Ahmad, Asif Sahab को ये दे दे, Irfan Sahab दे दे. And finally, Hamad Sahab, if Irfan Sahab could give it to Hamad Sahab as well. Jazakallah khair, everybody. You can proceed for tea, and inshallah we have a 30-minute break. Thank you.
Synopsis in Sharia's perspective of Islamic funds, and this session will be chaired by Dr. Zubair Usmani Sahab. Dr. Zubair Usmani Sahab is the Sharia advisor of MCB Bank Islamic Limited. Sir, kindly, Dr. Zubair Usmani Sahab. Our panelists for this session are Brother Mir Muhammad Ali, the Chief Executive Officer, UBL Management Fund Managers Limited. Our second panelist is Mufti Muhammad Najib Khan Sahab. He is the Sharia advisor of of Habib Metropolitan Bank as well as the UBL Islamic Funds. Brother Nadeem Khan sir. Our third panelist for this session is Brother Kamal Ali. He is the Joint Director, Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. All the brothers and sisters are requested to have the seats now. We are now going to start the first technical session. First of all, our first panelist, Mir Muhammad Ali Sahab, Chief Executive Officer, UBL Fund Managers. He will be talking on Islamic funds and the financial planning, giving best of both worlds. Brother Mir Muhammad Ali Sahab.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an honor for me to be here, and thank you AlHuda for organizing this event. And I think, as Mr. Irfan Siddiqui mentioned, that we need to have many more sessions like these, and on a grander scale as well, because I think the larger public needs to know a lot about these investment schemes. Well, my topic, as you've seen, Islamic funds for financial planning, giving best of both worlds. And the presentation which I'm going to deliver is going to focus on how it gives you best of both worlds, and it shows how financial planning, A, is important for everyone, irrespective whether you are a Sharia compliant or you are not Sharia compliant. But if the main focus would be on that there is no compromise going through the Islamic Sharia compliant route, and which, as Mr. Siddiqui also mentioned, that at least like a large population is that which wants good products, Sharia compliant based products, but with a lot of which do not compromise on the return aspect. My presentation will focus on the need for financial planning, how Islamic funds in the market can help achieve your financial objectives, and lastly, how the growth in the Islamic fund market we have seen recently in the last 2 years, how it's done, and what's the way forward for. As I've said, the importance of financial planning and illustrating how Islamic